On this channel, we talk a lot about the difference between story and storytelling. That's kind of comes back around quite a bit because those are two very different things. Today, we're going to talk about storytelling and what is the core part of it that you have to consider when telling a story. Thank you for liking, subscribing, all that stuff. Really do appreciate it. Let's jump in. When we talk about storytelling is really the emotional experience that the audience has when they consume a story. So whether they're reading it or watching it, doesn't matter. When they consume it, they're going to feel things. And this is what storytelling is. Story is just someone who wants something badly, is having trouble getting it. They get it or they don't. That's story. Storytelling is how you help the audience navigate that story, how they feel along the way. So it's all about the emotions. And as an audience, we are connected to the characters in the story. So when we talk about emotions, we have to pay attention to emotions on two levels. The first is we want to make sure that the characters in our story, that we are taking them for a ride. We want them to experience the highs and the lows of whatever is going on. So, and you want to kind of think of it in terms of opposites. So if you're writing a story and you want your audience at some point to feel happy, then they also need to feel sad. If you want your audience to feel scared, then you also want them to feel safe. And you have to play between these emotions as you're doing it, especially for the characters themselves. You want the characters to feel happy or sad, scared or safe. You want them to experience those emotions, the same emotions that you're wanting the audience to experience, because we as people experience emotions through the characters in the stories. So you want to have them go on a ride. So up, down, all the way through the whole story. Take them on a ride. But this is where it's hard because you're writing the story. You love your characters. They are cherished, real people to you. You don't want to hurt them. You want to mold them and protect them. Wrong. What you have to do is you've got to torture your characters. Put them through the paces, put them through the ringer, make things bad. And when it's bad, make it worse. That's what you have to do as a storyteller. You want your characters going through all the emotions, and they have a happy and then a sad, and then the next happy is even better, and the next sad is even worse, the next happy is even more, and the next sad's even worse. Like, you want all this all the way through your whole story. Take your characters on a ride. That will help you engage your audience and their emotions. The second part of this is you want to take your audience on a ride. You want your audience to do the same thing that your characters are doing. You want your audience to feel happy and sad and happier and sadder and happier and sadder. You want the whole thing. You want your audience doing it as well as your characters. Here's the trick. What you want to do is you want to create what's called an emotional contrast. This is where when your characters are happy, the audience is sad. Because the characters think, oh, I did this thing. But the audience, we know some other stuff's going on. And we're like, oh, no, you haven't. No, you haven't. And we're now worried and we're sad for them. And then reality sets in and the characters start doing something. But they do something they don't want to do. So they're kind of sad about it. But we're happy that they're doing that thing. So as your characters are going through the paces, you want to put your audience through the paces. Sometimes they'll match up and both be high and both be low. But if you can, try to make them opposite, because then the audience is even more engaged in the story because you're going up and down, and the characters are going down and up and down and up. And so we're happy for them and sad for us, but when we're sad for them, we're happy for us. So it keeps us engaged. It's fueling all of the emotional cylinders that we want filled. It's just a great experience. Here's a little bonus tip though. Occasionally, you want to do something that I call pull the rug out. You might also hear the phrase a gut punch. Something's going along, and then something just totally different happens. It messes everything up. Nobody saw it coming. It makes story sense when we reflect on it. We're like, okay, that didn't totally come out of the blue, but I was not expecting that. You just pulled the rug out from under me. You punched me in the gut. I wasn't expecting it. It sucked all the wind out. One of the things that people do for this element is if you're watching action adventure movies, things like that, one of the things they'll do is they'll kill off a subplot character about partway through, and we don't expect it. And all of a sudden, oh, that thing happened. Like, no. And now our emotions are gone. Everything just changes. So don't forget about the occasional gut punch. Now, you can't do it all the time, okay? You might have one, maybe two per movie, okay? One per episode of TV. So not huge all the time, but don't forget, it's a powerful, powerful tool. When people are feeling good, you yank the rug out from under them like, nope, it's bad. Or when it's bad, it's like, whoop, oh, that's actually good. It's better if it always makes it worse, though. That tends to play a little bit better in movies. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you have, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. I really do appreciate that. Very helpful. If you're going to tell a story that matters. See you later.